What's good, friends and family? Mr. Flip Flop in the building here with a dope show tonight. I actually got Keith in the background right now. I'm gonna bring him up in a second. So just got back from Brazil. Had a good time with Paradise Life. Long trip. I actually know what jet lag feels like now. I'm so tired from 12 hours of flying to 8 hours of driving in this torrential downpour monsoon rain to get home. I had to stop because we couldn't see. I could see nothing on the road. It was that bad. If you've seen all the stuff from Santiago, all the mudslides and stuff, I was in that, and it was crazy. So I just got real tired. Uh, saw my boy Ant last night, and I just said, you know what? I woke up this morning like I'm dying. But anyway, tonight's show is going to be a dope show. We're going to talk about traveling. I got Industry with Keys coming on right now. Taylor Made should be here in a little while, but let me catch you guys up now that I'm back in Sasua. Someone asked me last night, and I want to say something. Whenever I put these trips up that we do, you're all invited. I know guys don't want to travel alone. Some guys want to travel in groups and know they're traveling safely. When we put a Paradise Life event up or a travel event, you are invited. All I tell people to do, get your contact us, obviously, get your room and board, get your flight, and I'll tell you where to meet us. So a lot of guys, the reason we do these trips is because a lot of guys don't want to travel alone, or when they do travel, they want to know where to go if it's a new destination. So shout out to everybody that was in Brazil with us. Get ready for September 3rd. King's Urban Music Festival, sponsored by Paradise Life, King's Rumba, CJDR Properties, Nomad Aviation, Get Right Fragrance. I do not have my Paradise Life cologne here, but it's at the bar. It's all good. Also, my 5-year anniversary, the weekend of September 3rd, I posted up in the community. I'll post it up again in Instagram and Facebook. We're doing a 3-day happy hour with beers being the price that they were 5 years ago. So that's going to be dope for you guys. My way of giving back for all the support you guys showed me. 5 years in the game. It's not easy. Trust me. So stay tuned for that. And as far as Halloween goes, you guys know, hit me up. Halloween's getting closer and closer. I'm going to bring Keith in right now. What up, Keith?
Yo, what's up, Flip? How's everything going, man?
Good, brother. I appreciate you for joining me tonight.
Hey, no problem, man. It's an honor. It's an honor to be around, be with the legends, man. It's an honor, bro.
Nah, you doing your thing, bro. If you guys don't know Keith, man, go check his channel out. Believe it or not, I think I told you I caught your channel by accident. I was just scrolling through YouTube, and you were told a story about New Garden, and I was like, I've seen that story a million times. It's definitely a true story.
Right. For sure. Definitely. I wasn't even gonna put that video out at first, and then I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead because I know it's a lot of people that watch my channel because I make easy to see videos of how to get there. I want to make sure that people are protected when they get there and not just blindsided and fall in love and have a problem.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. So tonight's about traveling, black men traveling, right?
Okay.
Shout to the Passport Bros. Shout to Black Men Travel, Black Man and Black Men Travels. Shout to all the travel groups, Dominican Travel. Shout to all the travel groups out there. Now, how long have you been traveling? Overseas, excuse me.
Overseas, I started traveling March 4th, 2018. So
okay.
Yep. So not that long, honestly.
Not that long. Gotcha.
Not that long.
What countries have you been to?
I've been to 64 countries in this span of time.
64.
64. So I've been to South Africa. I've been to Thailand, Iceland, New Zealand, Singapore, Cuba.
So you already did Cuba before?
Yeah, I did Cuba. Yeah, I did it in August of 2018. But at the time, they didn't really have Wi-Fi. I stayed away from the capital. Yeah, I stayed away from the capital. Did the whole buy Wi-Fi card, stay in the park. I was hoping it would be better by now because I was watching some of your videos, but it seemed like some of the stuff is still the same. So a bunch of countries, honestly, and a bunch of cities, honestly.
Crazy.
Yeah. Like, we've been on the move.
That's a lot of travel in a short period of time. Jesus.
Well, a lot of times, me and my friends, we jump from country to country, and so we may only stay a day or two. So we go from one, like for example, we found a way to fly from Thailand straight to India, from India to Dubai, from Dubai to Egypt, and then came back to Thailand. So stuff like that. Yo, hey, what's going on, Taylor Made? Yo, appreciate you, brother. Man, big fan.
So, Taylor, I just asked the question. We just got started. I appreciate you jumping in, Taylor. So, Keith just started traveling in 2018. I know you've been traveling for a long time. So to get this thing started, how long have you been traveling overseas, Taylor?
Well, remember, I went into the military in '85, so I've been traveling overseas since 1985.
Okay, so you've been traveling long.
Since the 80s. Since the 80s. There you go.
Well, myself is 15 years. I've only been traveling 15 years. Only been traveling 15 years, but that's still a lot. I mean, it's just that I haven't done 64 countries like Keith and been all over the world like you have, but I've been to about 7, 8 countries. So, but I've been there a lot. I've been going to each country a lot. So it's cool.
Especially Brazil lately.
Well, hey, we got
recognize that picture behind you too.
Yes, sir. You remember that. You was there when I got that picture. So basically, like I said, tonight, guys, we're really talking about travel brothers, black men traveling. And the reason I'm saying that is because, and shout out to it's no racial thing. It's just, I just had the conversation on the last live with No Excuses, Passport Brothers, of how we are noticed when we travel, which is why we're always spoken about, which is why people say the things they say. Now, I want to start this out by saying something I said on in a conversation in Brazil, and we can go from there. So for people who talk about men traveling overseas, right? It's shamed upon, it's hated on. I want to tell everybody, and I'm gonna say it again later on the slide, but I want to tell everyone something. OC is out of the country. Okay, that's out of the country. Before I had a passport and most men had a passport, we were going OT, out of town. Mm-hmm. So when you talk about us having a passport, we're only doing the same thing we were doing before we had a passport. We were going to Atlanta, going to South Beach, going to California, going to the Greek Fest in Philly, New York, all over the place. We're going to all these places. We were already traveling, but it was OT instead of OC. Now all we did was step it up and go out of the country now. So my biggest thing when I hear the you guys get passports and you travel for this, travel for that. Well, guess what? I remember people saying, yo, bro, the baddest chicks is in South Carolina. Let's hop in the whip and go. Bro, the baddest chicks is in North Carolina. Let's hop in the whip and go. We were doing it already. We were doing the same thing. Yeah. And I posed this question in 3 travel groups yesterday because I knew we was ready for this live. As far as asking, out of everywhere you've been, we're the most beautiful. We had this conversation before, Taylor. Most beautiful women. And the responses were crazy, but the reason I posted it, because I wanted to get an idea, was the first place you've seen a beautiful woman when you got a passport? Because I know for a fact there's beautiful women over America, because I used to be one of the guys going OT. I got some great responses. And this led me into this. This is going to be like a 3-part series with this right here. This led me into this. Taylor, I'm going to ask you first, Taylor, as a super vet of travel. All right, you've been all around the world. Mm-hmm. What have you noticed as far as, I know you travel by yourself a lot too, but what have you noticed in when you see other black men traveling, wherever it is, no matter what country it is, what have you noticed are the changes in the past, I want to say 5 years, that you've noticed in black men traveling overseas?
I think there's 2 different travelers. You got what I call my weekend warrior travelers. Mm-hmm. Then you have those vet travelers. And the vet travelers move more like stealth planes. Those weekend warriors move like crash plane pilots, like the kamikazes. They just go straight in. They don't care they're gonna die. They just want to hit the battleship. And it used to not be like that. It used to be like when black men were traveling specifically, we considered ourselves more ambassadors, so that when we got to places and people who did not see or was not familiar with people who look like us on a regular basis, that the next guy that's coming behind me, like Greg or yourself, Quiz, like they say, oh, I had that experience with Taylor May. Oh, I know he's good. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, I mean, the propaganda machine did well, but a lot of times we're based off the last experience somebody had with a black person. Mm-hmm. White people are not based off the last experience they had with a white person, but black people are. So like I said, when you see those seasoned vets travel, we try to move, just like yourself, gentlemen, try to move more like a stealth. We don't come down here. We ain't throwing money off the balcony. You know, have that what I call, and I did a show about that strip club mentality. You take that strip club mentality and you just an embarrassment, just a fucking embarrassment. You know, there's no need of that stuff, and half the time the guys is doing don't have the money. You know, they work in, you know, jobs making $12, $13 an hour. You save up all year just to blow $4,000. Don't make sense. But and also it leaves a bad taste, and you know, and things go wrong at times. So that's what I see. I see two levels of black travelers, and a lot of times when black travelers see each other, you kind of make that contact. You know, you make that. You know how we do like that, and then we'll be like, "What's up, man? What's happening, brother? Where you from?" You know what I'm saying? But the weekend warriors, you know, like. I ain't gotta say nothing to nobody. You know, I'm pimping here. So you know, it's almost like they got something to prove. But like I said, us vet travelers, you know, we just try to move like stealth planes, brother. Just keep it moving. Stay on top. You definitely look out for each other. You know, I know when me and Greg and Steve went to Brazil, we definitely looked out for us because you know each one of us had our nights of tipsiness. You know, and we made sure everybody good, and nothing bad would happen except we seen a good fight in the club. I thought I was back in New York, but we weren't involved with this shit.
Had nothing to do with us.
So that's my opinion on that, brother.
All right, so Keith, now I'm not going to say your limited travel experience, obviously.
Hey man, it's all good.
I guess your limited years of traveling.
Absolutely.
What have you noticed in your time traveling? It's only 2018, but you've been a lot of places.
Yeah.
What have you seen and what have you noticed with other black men traveling?
I would say since I first started traveling in 2018, I want to say I've seen a lot more brothers traveling and a lot younger demographic. I say that like, you know, it used to be like older gentlemen traveling, but now we got a lot of young dudes traveling in their early 20s, early 30s, just moving around, and they're living like Taylor May said. They're living like they're in Miami and Atlanta because that's the only thing they know. So we're seeing like more and more brothers. There was some places that I went in, let's say 2018, and I doubled back to a year and a half later, and it was like, man, I didn't see any brothers over here at all. But now I see young brothers, just some of them acting wild and some of them not. But that's what I see mainly is just a younger demographic that the older generation, we got to embrace each other and try to get to, you know, common ground of what we want.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna touch on what both of you said because I just said this in Passport Brothers podcast about less than 10 minutes ago. We stand out, okay? No matter where we go, we stand out. And I want everybody to watching this to understand what I'm saying. If I'm in a club and there's a white man in the club, and the white man's throwing $100 bills, and I decide to throw $10 bills, no one's going to notice the white man. They're going to look at me. That's just what it is. Being black, you stand out wherever you go. So you actually, when you get on a plane, when you walk in a room, when you walk in a club, all eyes are on you, whether you know it or not. We just stand out. This is what it is. Now, my first time in Brazil, I just told the story just a minute ago. We were the first night we had about 15 of us, all in Paradise Life shirts. So we walk in the club and we go just get our little section and hang out. And someone walks up and goes, "Hey, you guys a gang?" I'm like, "Why would we be a gang? Like, what would make you think that?" Like, I'm just saying, like, well, y'all. I'm like, did we do anything gang like? Did you see us any violence, any type of activity? All I see is guys having fun. And he was like, "No, I'm just saying it just okay, my bad. I'm just looking." I'm like, "Bro, it's okay, but what made you think we were a gang? Because you saw 15 brothers wearing similar shirts, having a good time." So that makes it a gang. But you see, that's the thought process when people see us, especially in large groups. They look at us and go, "Okay, there's some black people." You know, like I said, we always, no matter what we do, we're gonna stand out in that retrospect because they know all eyes on us. Big Tim, shout to you for that. The big Euro step, appreciate that. So I think a lot of people need to understand that when I call this black men traveling is because I don't think, and you guys saying the younger demographic, I agree with you. And I also said this. When I came to Dominican Republic, my first trip, I was brought by travel veterans. these younger guys, and no knock on the younger guys, still got to have fun, are just popping up and travel on their own with no information, no one guiding them. We all had, I know I had OGs brought me traveling as far as going to all these different locations and showed me how to move and what to do. And with even Colombia, I had never been to Colombia. Then when I actually knew more about Colombia than most people who were going to Colombia. So by the time I went, I kind of was put on the game before I even got there. You know what I'm saying? But I had OGs showing me the way. A lot of the young dudes, which is what we all need to try to do, just be popping up, buying a ticket, no information, no nothing. Hey, I just want to see something. And they bring some of that mentality, that Miami mentality back to these other countries. I don't like it per se, but I'm not going to knock it because I remember being young myself doing knucklehead stuff sometimes. But I did it in America. Okay, I can't really say I did it in these other countries. So for me, it's more so as, yes, there are, I agree with both of you guys, there are more younger travelers, and I don't see the younger travelers with the OGs guiding them along, showing them, hey, do it this way, young man, like I was shown, you know what I'm saying? Right. But I guess that is what it is. I've also noticed that a lot of younger demographic has been traveling more and more. It's a good thing, it is a good thing that men are getting out and traveling. I'm happy for that. Rather than staying home and getting all of the stuff you can get into back in the States and all that. So that's why I always encourage travel, because I know what we go through back in the States. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's worse things than you getting on a plane and going to another country blowing a couple of dollars you work for. You know what I'm saying? So I can respect that. Now, I guess my next question, and we'll start with you, Keith, because you've been to so many damn countries.
Okay.
You travel mostly in groups. I've seen you alone in DR. You travel in groups or you travel by yourself?
Most of the time in groups. But, if they can't go, I don't let it stop me. I'll go by myself. And a lot of these places I go like over and over and over. So 2 times maybe with the group, 1 time maybe by myself, 1 time a group of 6, 1 time a group of 2, solo, whatever. I'm just going.
Gotcha. Okay. And how hard has it been to get dudes to travel, like get them organized?
It has its challenges, but I tell people all the time that you got to be able to make some sacrifices. And if you want people to go with you, it can't just be on your exact time. So a lot of times, like the first time I went to Thailand, I only got to go for 72 hours because I went with 6 people. So I wanted to go, but you got to make sacrifices. So sometimes it can be difficult to get everybody's schedule in a line, but it's a blessing to be able to have people to go with. It's safety in numbers, and you can have a lot of good times, with a lot of people. So, yeah, it's just about making sacrifice, honestly.
I agree, and I actually, like I said, same thing, safety in numbers. I traveled with Taylor Made it. Like I said, me, him, and Steve, we had each other's bags. We were good. And also that's why I tell people when we do our Paradise Life does our travel trips, I tell guys, like I said earlier, you're welcome to join. Because I just spoke to somebody last night that was like, hey, man, how can I join your group? And I said, just let me. I post it all the time where we're going. Let me know. He goes, because he said to me, he goes, I don't want to travel alone to these places I've never been. You're welcome to come with us. That's what these trips are really about as well. We're networking. We're also bringing guys who probably won't go to these places by themselves. Now you come with us and you make sure you have a good time and you're safe. I have noticed in the beginning of my travel, most of the older guys, it was easy to organize them to travel. It was easy. Like we used to just send an email to each other. Hey, I'm booked. These are my dates. Let's go. And everybody just started scrambling. Okay, let me get a date. Later on, I started to see it was harder to get the younger guys to travel. And I'm saying maybe 10 years ago, the younger guys under 30, it was harder really to get them to get organized and get them focused. It was always, yeah, we going. 10 dudes, then it'll be 5 dudes. Then the day of the trip be 2 dudes. You know what I'm saying? Now, I guess because of the platform, because how, they see us traveling and stuff like that, I've seen it a little easier now. The younger guys are getting a little more organized with travel. When it comes to traveling with us, I can't say it everybody, but when it comes to traveling with us or myself, the younger guys are becoming a little bit more organized in travel. Whereas before, I could expect one person under 30 to roll on a trip. You know what I'm saying? So I think Taylor, you still here? I'll make sure you're in the back. I know you're in the background. But My biggest thing.
One thing to that real quick.
Yeah.
I think it's probably easy to get guys more ready and organized to travel too, because travel is being advertised to everybody so often. You get on
now,
you get on YouTube. You know, it's probably they already want to go already, and you just putting the motor in and getting them ready. So I think it's probably a little bit
and they see us having fun as well.
Yeah, for sure.
It's appealing. Like I remember someone made a comment about, "Oh, you YouTubers this and that." I'm like, "You YouTubers what?" I'm like, a lot of guys wouldn't know. You probably wouldn't know nothing about this travel life if you didn't watch it on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So they get to see your travels, see Taylor's travels, my travels, and they go, "I want to do that." You know what I'm saying? Now they may have not thought of that. Now see, had YouTube been around when I was younger, maybe I would have wanted to travel in my early 20s, excuse me. But I kind of knock on wood, I didn't travel because I was kind of a knucklehead. So yeah, it was kind of best for me. I started traveling later on in life. But it is appealing seeing like you, Taylor, Zoe, shout to Zoe, Barber's World, Check in Effect. I talk to Check like probably once a week, every other week. And it's really just watching him. I'd be like, geez, he's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so like the funny thing with those two, while I love their content, is because I'll visually see them in Brazil, and they'll be posting a video in Spain. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Then I'll visually see them in Dominican Republic, and they'll be in Brazil. It's weird. You know what I'm saying? They post their videos crazy, but it's dope. I'm watching them travel the world, and it is appealing to most men to travel nowadays, to get away from the nonsense that goes on in the States. I know a lot of people probably don't realize. Someone made a comment saying Black women don't want us to travel. Hey, listen, I want to say something. In the 90s, there was a whole movie about Black women traveling. It was called How Stella Got Her Groove Back. Right. In the 90s, Black women were traveling to get their groove back. Now that Black men are traveling, it seems to be a big deal. Time out, y'all. Y'all had a whole movie about y'all. Right. I told my lovely Black women, I have no issues with Black women, but as they sit there and talk crap about the brother, like I said it earlier, now we're going OC out of the country. But before we had passports, we were going OT out of town. So I was one of them out of town too. Matter of fact, that's the reason I didn't get a passport. I was going out of town so much, I was like, What country you going to? Oh yeah, I'm going to this country. I'm going to this state. They got them over there too. You know what I'm saying?
Like week.
Yeah, it was what it was. You know what I mean? But traveling did change my life because I've seen so much more than my world. I always say like a lot of people have small worlds. My world, as big as it was, I thought it was in America, was really this big until I traveled the world. Excuse me, and started seeing, wow, this is different. You know what I'm saying? So I want to ask Taylor the same question when he jumped back on. He probably handling something, but yeah, I really think the whole passport game, when you got people who hate on people who travel, hate on the travel space, you know what I'm saying? Talk ish about brothers who travel. I said it in when I was in Brazil. I travel for experience. One of the main reasons I travel is because 95% of my neighborhood is dead or in jail. 95%. I got a friend named Fox who probably will jump on his sooner or later, who's from my area. We went to the same school and everything. He knows that where we from, ain't nobody traveling nowhere if they alive. You know what I'm saying? Till, I want to pose a question to you.
All right. Hey, let me apologize, man. I had an emergency phone call. I had things.
Bro, it's all good. Trust me. You here. I said whenever you're ready. Don't worry about it. Now, I've traveled with you. Yes. Unfortunately, you couldn't make the Brazil trip. But how did you like to travel? Do you like to? Yeah, it's all good. Do you travel more by yourself or do you like traveling in groups? Personally, how do you like to travel?
I'm gonna tell you, man. I like traveling by myself. I like traveling in groups, and I have traveled in groups. Like when we were celebrating Brother Charles Tyler a couple of years ago when I went to Brazil in 2019. We had it was about 14 of us, and had a great time. But some cats, man, when I travel, I got to travel with cats where where you do your thing, I do my thing. You know, we may try to do something together. But some people feel like, man, you know, if we travel together, we got to do a group thing together. And that's, man, listen, that's not the way I roll. I may drink too much the night before, and you know, y'all may have something lined up. I tell you, go ahead, man. When you get back, just shout me out. I'll come meet you at the bar. And I've seen people, man, spaz out because you want to roll with them. And I'm like, yo, fuck, we're not married. What the hell are you talking about? You know,
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, we grown ass men. What the hell is all this about? So now I have my brother. Now I travel with Clarence anywhere because we know each other. We can roll each other. Yeah. Now me and Greg know each other. Me and Steven. So you know, and we meet up. We do little separate things, but it's cool because they're vetted seasoned travelers. So they're not into the, you know, we all got to hold hands and sing kumbaya on a goddamn trip. So it's hard when you kind of mesh that crowd because that people are expecting, you know, we're going to do a group thing. And if you into that, there's nothing wrong with it. Let me say that there's nothing wrong with it. But when you just kind of want to break off and do your own thing, you know, if you break off and say, man, I got something lined up. See you later. It ain't hurt my feelings. I stay at the bar by myself. But some people, I seen them just spaz out, get mad and shit, man. And I'm like, yo, that's not cool. So that's why I like to travel by myself, man, because I don't have those type of incidents, man, or feel like, you know, I'm obligated to nobody. Look, man, if we grown men traveling, man, shit, listen, we're going to do things together, but, you know, don't depend on me to fucking follow a rule book. There's no rule book to traveling, man. There's no
exactly.
Want to do it. Want every tourist thing. Not me. I don't care about none of that shit. I care about the bars and the ladies and maybe checking out a couple of sites. But I don't have to do the tourist thing, man. I've been all over the world, so I'm good. And I'm, you know, so no, I'm more of a either single or maybe 2-3 people travel.
How hard do you feel it is to organize people to travel? If you do a group, like how hard do you think it's to organize?
Man, well, you know, you always gonna have more people say they're going, and then as it gets closer to that date, or you start telling people to make that dollar commitment, then you'll see who actually doing it. So, but like if we said we're going to do a group thing, like I said, Brazil, I would have been in Brazil, but you know, I had that break in and my passport got stolen.
Yeah. No, I know. Like I said, I wish you was there. It was definitely been a good time.
Yeah. So, you know we're going to do it, but new cats, newbies, and if you depending on a lot of newbies to come, you know, I would say if 10 say they're going to come, 7 will show up.
Exactly. No, I agree with that. And we, by the way, we kind of travel the same. Like people don't realize, even when we do the Paradise Life travel events, I make a little WhatsApp group for everybody. Everybody jump in who's on the trip. If we meet you down there, jump in a group, whatever. But I'll tell everybody, hey guys, we're gonna do this tonight. Hey guys, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. If you can't make it, cool. If you guys say, hey, we're going over here right now. No, okay, I'm gonna chill. I'll meet y'all at the scheduled spot we decided on a couple days ago. Or someone would be like, hey, I'm gonna go to this part of the beach. That's cool. I'm going to this part of the beach. It is. I'm doing what I want to do, but I'm gonna make sure the group is good as well. Because, like you said, I'm not there. There's really no itinerary on vacation, but I'm not stopping what I'm doing. I may be sitting there just not want to do nothing that day. You know what I'm saying? And if you got something planned for the nighttime, I'm gonna make sure I'm available for the nighttime fiasco. But during the daytime, I'm gonna be like, you know what, guys, I don't want to do it. You know, so. You do get caught up in those, especially us, when we have these travel groups and all that. But I tell people, guys, we're gonna have a good time, but you won't see me 24/7. You just won't. You know.
Yeah, I'm definitely a nighttime hookup too. You count me at night.
Yeah, pretty much. You pretty much count me at night, 100%. It's just the daytime. Don't be calling my phone. I might, bro. You know, someone said to me the other day. I did the live in Brazil. I was like, I've been sitting here reading. They was like, you're reading on vacation? Yeah, like sometimes I just want to sit and read. I got no schedule. I got nowhere to be. I'm just sitting down and reading some stuff, getting more useless facts in my head so I can spread it out to the world. You know what I'm saying? So that's stuff I like to do. So real quick, Taylor, because I got a question to ask both of y'all. Have you gotten your passport back yet?
No, I'm still, because if I would have got the emergency passport, I could have went home. Then I would have sat in the States for 5 or 6 weeks waiting for it. So if I got to do 5 or 6 weeks, I'd just rather be here, rather home.
Wait it out.
And wait it out here. So I got probably another 2 weeks to go, and I'll be able to get back on the plane and start traveling again. Because I would actually not be in here for the holidays this weekend, because my daughter's real young. So I'm actually going to Southeast Asia during the holidays, and I'll be back sometime January, February. I'm not sure.
Oh, nice. Okay.
If I hop on to Philippines and make that the last stop. If I don't go, I'll be back in January. So I'll be back in February.
I was just about to ask you what you're playing. There you go. You already answered the question. Now, Taylor, I'm going to ask you as a vet and a YouTube vet as well. What is some of the backlash you've heard when it comes to black men traveling? What are some of the things that you either defended or you've gotten an earful about as far as black men traveling overseas?
Oh yeah, definitely the y'all ruined it. Like the Suhos, oh man, y'all ruined it. Y'all ruined it. So that whole YouTube thing, y'all ruined it. And I'm sure you heard that too.
Oh yeah.
But when people come out like that, man, my retort is always, look, if you look at my content, all right, I ain't saying nobody else. My content is information. I don't do a whole lot of titties and ass because you watch it anyway, even though it gets more views. But some cats are view chasers, and me, I'm about information chasing. So and I tell cats, if you watch my channel, information. You may watch somebody else's channel, titties and ass. So I said, don't compare me, because I know what lane I'm in, and I stick to my lane. Also here, y'all running away. You running away from the main. When white people travel and go overseas, my white brothers, they don't say they running away. They said, hey, they retiring overseas, or they're taking an extended vacation. So how come I'm running away? And how come they retire? I don't understand it. What's the difference?
Because you're black. You stand out.
So we got to be running away from something. I don't owe child support and all that crazy stuff. So, it's just kind of, like I said, and that whole taking that strip club mentality, because I see a lot of young brothers traveling too, and I'm happy to see young brothers traveling, man. Definitely. I encourage it. I always say, man, listen, the best present America give you is the passport. All I say is just take your common sense with you. That's it. But those are like the three of the biggest things that I hear and see when
I kind of agree with that. Keith, I'm gonna pose the question to you as well, because I want your input. You're kind of fairly new to the YouTube space,
for sure,
as far as I know, but you kind of came up pretty fast. What are some of the things you're hearing? Because as a YouTuber, we get a lot of comments, a lot of emails. I know I get them all the time, every day. What are some of the things you personally heard from people about black men traveling, and maybe your content as well? Or what are the things you've been hearing as far as black men traveling and all that?
Kind of the same thing. Like, we're ruining it. We're bringing more men into the space. Why would you want to bring more men into paradise or whatever? And then, on the YouTube side is just, why you want to show everything, and why you explaining it, why you spoon feeding people. And then you have a lot of hate just from other YouTubers versus other YouTubers for whatever reason. And so, you hear that kind of stuff. And just black men traveling in general is just kind of frowned, down upon, especially when you say you want to go to a place like Colombia or a Brazil or a DR. It's like, oh, hold up. Wait a second. I said this last night on my live chat, is that everybody kind of looks down on us for going to DR, but then they go to DR to get the body. So, I don't understand it. It's hypocrisy at best.
I agree with that. And here's my thing. Now, I'm not speaking for everybody, I'm speaking for myself. I saw a couple of videos of someone talking about there's no need to mess with a woman from the United States because all these women in all these countries. That's cool. If that's your cup of tea. I personally don't travel for women. Women are everywhere. So it's not like I gotta anywhere you put me anywhere except Antarctica, I can pretty much pluck a woman out of somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And it might be somewhere in Antarctica. I ain't never been there before. But by the way, timeout. Useless fact number 2005. Antarctica has a town where 6 months out the year there's 5,000 people there. So okay, just so you know, they might add those 5,000. Might be a pretty young lady there. I don't know. Anyway, sidebar. Anywhere in the world, I'm gonna find me a young lady if I have to have a young lady. It is what it is. But I believe the travel game is more about experience than anything. Yes, we know we got dudes that only travel for that. That is all they travel for. Absolutely. I don't knock that. I don't. That's each person does what they does because you earned your money, you bought your ticket. I can't control that. But the reality is, all these countries are also picking up experiences, also seeing different sides of life and how people live. I actually just said this a minute ago. We're getting really in my travels, and I didn't grow up with the best of things, you know what I'm saying? But I realized how good we have it in America. How the reason everybody wants it was like, oh, America, you walk on streets of gold. We actually have it really good compared to a lot of these countries we go to. We have running water, we have hot water, we have options to have air conditioning. You know what I'm saying? We have paved roads. So the reality is the experience, and then especially Dominican Republic, and everywhere I've been has great people. I'm just saying out Dominican Republic because I live here. One of the biggest draws for me, and I've told the story a million times, I was at this girl's house in Puerto Plata. We were sitting down. She cooked dinner. It was me, two of her cousins. Just did eat, drinking, listen to music, about to eat. When the dinner was ready, mind you, it's only 4 of us, but it was a lot of food. She walked to the front door, called these guys on the corner, asked them, was they hungry? They came inside and said, hey, what's up, fellas? Came inside, ate, said thank you, and left. I found out later she didn't know them. She just asked some random dude sitting there, were they hungry? I've never seen that in America.
Yeah.
Never.
Not in these days.
You're going to slam the door if someone goes, oh, that food smells good. You're going to slam the door closed, make sure they can't smell it no more. So those type of things kind of open my world up because wherever we go, even if they don't have a lot, they find ways to be happy. Whereas all we do in America is stress over the next bill getting paid, over how we're going to do this, how we're going to do that. You know what I'm saying? So my reality with traveling is seeing a whole new world. And when I hear the negative comments I've gotten, excuse me, guys, is similar as far as what they talk about. But I tell people this. If you don't like the video of the information I'm giving you, and as you said, Keith, spoon feeding people, then it's not for you. But there's another 1,000 people that need that information. If you don't like me telling someone how you can be an expat, don't watch TaylorMade's videos. Don't watch my videos. But there's another few thousand people that want to move out of America and find a way to set themselves up as an expat. So they want that information. If you personally don't want it, don't watch the video. My biggest thing is when someone said they don't like my videos, but they commented with a timestamp 40 minutes into the video. I thought you wasn't watching my videos.
Right.
But you watched to the 40-minute timestamp and said you didn't like that part most of all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we know they're still watching. Even if they don't like it, they're still watching. My thing for all travelers, especially black men, and I'm speaking directly to black men for this reason. For the younger guys, if you don't have an OG, a travel OG, talk to people like TaylorMade. Talk to people like Keith. Talk to the YouTubers that you follow that you might know, or find you someone that is a travel veteran in order to learn a bit more about travel as far as how you should carry yourself. Because I tell people all the time, all eyes are on us when we're traveling. All eyes are on us. Anywhere we go, anytime we step in a room, we're acknowledged and we're looked at. Whether it's good or bad, we're just noticed, you know. And I hate to say it, but even what Taylor said, if a white person is doing the same thing we're doing, it's not a big deal. But when we do it, it becomes, that's heresy. Like, what are you guys doing? You're traveling the world. What the hell? You're staying long term in different countries. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? It's living my life. That's what I thought it was. My personal space, my personal decisions. If it doesn't affect you, then let me live it. Now, go ahead, Taylor.
I just wanted to add something, just go back on one point. Yeah, one of the other things I hear, man, because I had a few videos where I had featured American sisters. And, because I may have met them down here and their story was so unique, I said, hey, come on the show and share and let other sisters know, this is a good place, this is a cool place, a great place to come as well. And man, you hear the backlash of dudes, man, oh man, you ruined it, telling these black women to come over here. First of all, who are you to tell any black woman where she can and cannot go? You sound just as hypocritical and just as racist as the people that you say you're trying to get away from.
Thank you.
And most sisters that travel, especially if they know they're traveling to, let's say, spots that, cats do a little mongering, they don't give a damn about you. I remember when Classicals was over, and a female subscriber hit me up and said she's coming down. She says, Russell, my husband comes down there. He says, but I'm coming down. I said, wow, okay. I hung out with her. This chick walked out with two of the baddest damn chicas in Classical.
I've seen it. I already know.
And she was like, well, Taylor, what you going to do? I said, well, I'm still hunting. She said, what about them? I said, yeah. I said, I think I'm going to talk to the other one. She said, nah, not right. She says, no, you're not. I said, yeah. I said, right now, I said, baby, I'm just chilling. So I went to go to the bathroom. When I came back from the bathroom, the girls was at the bar. So right where, we were sitting. And she said, hey, Taylor, I'm going to see you later. She said, I want to hang out long enough to say goodnight. He said, me and two ladies, we taking off. And I was,
how you live.
But you see some, other dudes, and I'm going to tell you, us, black dudes, looking at the sister all strange eye for what? She's down there having fun doing her thing.
You know what she want to do?
It's none of your business. I don't tell black women where to travel. If you got the money, travel and do what you want to do. That's crazy. So that mentality is just for me, it's just idiotic and stupid.
And I'm a add to that, because here's the thing, Taylor, which kind of blows my mind. First of all, I'm gonna specify Sasua first. I'm gonna talk about everywhere. There's always been women coming to Sasua. In my 15 years, I've always bumped into black women, white women, always been families. You just weren't paying them any mind. Yeah. You were too busy looking at something else. Now, to the other point, gentlemen, black, white, other, whatever you are, my green men, there's no place in this world designated for you to pull up and buy women. They're called vacation destinations. Not one country in this world has said, we're only going to have these guys coming to buy some sex. Nowhere. So when you see women, they're coming on vacation. When you see families, they're going on vacation. Someone said to me, they sent a video of like 6 black women in Cartagena. I said, Cartagena is a vacation country, right? I mean, a vacation town. I said, you do know they promote this all over the world. So, hey, come to Cartagena. Hey, come to Dominican Republic. I said, these places are vacation destinations. Then no one's messing it up for you. You're just doing what you do in a vacation location. You're lucky. Yeah. But these people are traveling. For some reason, people go, oh, they're messing the game up. Who's messing the game up? They're on vacation. And they didn't even notice. Like, the funny part is, I told one guy, I said he was mad about some black women on the beach. I said, let me ask you a question. I need a yes or no. With a black woman on the beach looking at you like, did they do that to you? He said, no. I said, then what the fuck are you worried about? I said, did they say anything to you? He said, no. Did they look at you? He said, no. What were they doing? Oh, drinking pina coladas on the beach. Hello, it's a beach.
I think some guys, it must make them impotent. It must make they really not work when they see a sister, out here on vacation enjoying themselves. And if that's your case, that's a little psychological issue that you may want to do your doctor. But one thing else you said, Greg, I want to kind of backtrack on. You said we have it better than America. Better streets, amenities, all that good stuff, and that's true. That's true. But those are things, right? Like for me, peace of mind is all I need. I can tell you, I do not have peace of mind in America. So I can't live there. I can't live there. Between the racism, between, everything is just so super hyperbolical, polarized today, man. It's just crazy. So for me, and then driving, man, honestly, when I go, I think because I've been living outside of the US so long, when I go back home and drive, man, honestly, I'm nervous. Now,
I can understand it.
It's crazy driving in DR, right? But you know what you're going to, keep your head up swell. You worry about a motor contra. I'm worried about a bullet when I drive in the States, man. And somebody may be saying, man, I think, you making a hit. But listen, I see the reports come out every freaking day, and hey, listen, lightning has struck in my life, just like it has struck in everybody else's life if you live long enough. So to say it can't happen to you is bullshit.
Yeah, facts.
Absolute bullshit. So America got a lot of things, but for me, it don't have a lot of peace. And I'd rather have peace and deal with the crazy motor conchos or the power outages. But man, when I wake up in the morning, when I go to sleep in the morning, when I hang out with brothers, I'm hanging out with cats, man, that I actually like. A lot of times, let's face it, man, you hang out with people that you don't like. Let's be honest. Seriously. A lot of times people hang out with people that they don't like. I ain't saying one-on-one, but if, like a lot of group shit, man, it's like, 2 or 3 people gonna be there that you can't freaking stand, But here, I actually hang out with people that I like. So there's a difference, man. So for me, yes, it has better amenities and Walmart and all that good stuff, but it does not have that peace that I have and I see and feel when I'm here. So that's it.
And Russ, that's actually why I'm here. Peace of mind. Financially, I was fucking great in America, but money didn't mean as much to me anymore. As long as my kids are good, even now, as long as my kids are good, I'm okay. My biggest thing now is building my legacy, having my businesses straight, building the brand even bigger around the world, and seeing more places around the world. So I agree with that. Peace of mind. Keith, real quick, how old are you, brother? I'm sorry, I forgot.
I was all good. I'm 36.
Okay.
I want to add one point to what you were saying about men worrying about women. I've seen it too. I was in Cartagena and we saw a group, and some people, got a little bit uptight. And I want to say it's because men are not living in their truth enough. They're scared to post that they in DR or they in Colombia because they're scared of public perception. So when they see women from America, they get all clammy because they don't want to seem like they're doing exactly what they're doing instead of just embracing it. So that's the problem.
Bro, what's public opinion though? Like what is the public opinion? We're on vacation.
Yes, that if you go to DR, that you are 1,000%, just tricking all day, and that's the only reason why you're there.
That's my thing.
In Colombia.
Hold on, Keith. I'm going to cut you off. That's my thing. So black men only travel for sex?
Yeah.
Only nothing else?
That's what they think.
I mean, I want to get this straight. So when people take pictures of the Christ statue in DR in Brazil, when people go to Sugarloaf Mountain in Brazil, people go to the famous Copacabana beach, the well-known Sosúa beach. People go to Cartagena for the mud, the mud thing and all that stuff. Yeah. I'd see that as life experiences. I don't really view that as I'm going for sex. You're going for life experiences. And to add to something you said as far as Cartagena, I was in a club in Cartagena a few trips back, and we had the whole VIP. We had the whole VIP section upstairs in Delirium, and in this little corner, the table over there. And I thought it was part of our group. I was telling them to come over here, but then I realized it was a bunch of young black ladies, all young in they probably early 30s. And I said, "Hey, ladies, what's going on?" Because I just happened to walk up on them. I thought it was one of my people's, but I ended up walking up on them. I was like, "What's up, lady? How you guys doing?" And they said, "Oh, it's her birthday." I said, "Okay, 1 second." Ordered a round of shots for them. Happy birthday. Nice to meet y'all. What about my business? They were doing what they were doing. We were doing what we were doing. It didn't affect me one way or another. Yeah. Anytime I see someone of my color, I'm saying hello, male or female. Matter of fact, I see any color. If we are making eye contact or they recognize me, hey, how you doing? I got approached in in Panama, and I got approached in Santo Domingo as soon as we landed. Hey, brother, I appreciate that. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? I don't feel no type of way when I see a woman traveling. I don't feel a negative vibe or intimidated when I see a woman traveling. I've had women ask me information. Hey, where do I go for this spot? Well, okay, yeah, go over there, check this restaurant out, da-da-da. It's not intimidating. We're all traveling. And like Taylor said, I've literally seen with my own 2 eyes, women get more women than I'm getting. So I'm over here traveling for experiences, and they bagging honeys. I'm like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? And having a good time. I've kicked it with women and just having a good time. American women, excuse me. Just having a good time. They traveling. There's nothing wrong with it. And the wild part is, I don't know if it's more black men that judge black men for traveling or black women. And the reason I say that because black women have always been traveling. If you have a business around the world, you want black women in your business because they're going to spend a whole lot of money. Okay? That's just what it is. Black women travel and blow their bread. They like to spend. So you better have top par service, whatever business you got, you better make sure you take care of them because they like to spend their money. So I don't really see them hating too much on us because I think it's the people that don't travel that kind of hate a lot on people traveling. Because for the women that I know that travel, I've met on my travels, they having a great time too. They enjoying their life. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see them hating on us because they having a good time too.
I would add that they only, from what I've seen, is they only are okay with us traveling when we're not with them, though. Because the women that may be interested in dating you, they definitely have a problem with you traveling. But, if y'all are just friends platonically, then it's okay. But if you tell your girl that you're going to DR,
that's insecurity. That's insecurity.
I agree.
I have a big saying, Keith, big saying to any woman I deal with. You cannot blame me for your insecurity. I mean, you have to know what it is. If we secure, and here's the wildest part. When I was living in the States, I even told my ex-girl in the States, I don't have to travel and cheat on you. There's plenty of women in a 3-block radius that would love to fuck me. Excuse me. I don't have to get on a plane and spend all this money for a ticket to cheat on you. I can do it right here. And I'd be like, so don't worry about it. I'm getting on a plane, enjoying my life, having fun. Then I'll be back and see you later. Smooches. You know what I'm saying? So what if you have a woman back home and ladies for your man back home when you want to travel? Now, ladies trips, I don't know about you. I get kind of crazy. I think the lady trips be a little more than the guys trips.
Jamaica.
That's why. Hold on. I think that's why they project what we do on vacation because they know what the fuck they be doing on vacation. That might be what it is. Because them ladies trips. I don't know. I've heard some stories.
I got a group back.
Fella, I said it. They made up. Black women can never say nothing about black men traveling because in the 90s they had a whole movie about it. They made a movie. Angela Bassett starred in going to Jamaica, getting her groove back.
Yep.
Come on, man. But like I said, I think it's more. In you guys' opinions, and Taylor, you go first. Who do you really feel is on that the hating the passport brothers, the people the black men that are traveling? Who do you really feel is the majority of those people? Do you feel it's men, women, or women, or both that are traveling or not traveling? Like, who do you feel that most of that hate comes from?
I think it's mostly men. I really do. Because the sisters that travel don't really give a damn.
They travel.
They travel. And they travel more than black men. But it's those cats who only got one destination. Like, I've been traveling 8 years. Where you go? I go to Jamaica. Okay, where else you go? Oh, I go to Jamaica. Oh, I go to Sasua. Okay, where else you go? I've been to Sasua. Bro, you're not a traveler. You're a weekend warrior. You're a vacationer, but you're not a traveler. You're not a traveler. You can't try. You can't go somewhere for years and only go to one spot and then stay within a fucking 5-block radius.
Agreed.
A 5-block radius. I mean, the first time I came to Sasua, man, I walked all the way down Pedro de Sante, all the way back, because I wanted to see exactly what was going on, man. I started asking people where the beach, with this. I mean, I was losing, that's my My feet was better. I was losing weight like crazy, man, because I always want to see my surroundings. I always want to see my surroundings. Because a lot of stuff, man, you miss until like that last damn day, and the shit's right around the corner. And you'd be like, man, it's been here all the time. But you gotta
you didn't even know it.
you gotta get out. You gotta get out of that comfort zone, man, and walk around and try different things, man. But you got cats, you know, they so used to routine, they so used to doing the same thing over and over and over and over. They don't, a lot of men, especially as they get older, they don't like change. So they don't want to change their destination. They don't want to change moving out of this 5-block radius. You know, they don't want to change, you know, their destination of, well, let me go to Colombia, let me go to Brazil, let me go to South Asia. They want to change. And I'm telling you, a lot of the complaints are coming from those types of dudes because they feel like I got them. Oh, I can say what I want because I'm a traveler too. No, you're not. You're a vacation. You know, you save up your money, you come on vacation, you go home, and once a year you get that 2 weeks off. So, yeah, that's my
Keith, in your opinion, where do you think most of that hate comes from for the black men that travel?
It's probably a mix, right? I think it's mostly men that don't travel doing the bidding of the women that don't want men to travel.
Makes sense.
So yeah, I think that's probably where it comes from. Because it's hard to say that men are hating the most, because I'm sure if any of us look at our analytics, we'll see that men support our channels the most.
No, 100%. But who are the people that like when they're talking about these, whether it be YouTubers, Instagrammers, TikTokers, that like, who do you feel is the majority of people that will go on and talk about the black travelers? You know what I'm saying? So negative, in the negative sense, I mean.
Yeah, I think it's non-travelers and men masquerading their escapades behind, I'm not like none of them. I saw just the other day a guy talking about Sosua, and you go to his YouTube channel of 100-something videos, and the only two places he's been is Medellin and Sosua. Okay, you're not like us. Okay, sure. But, you know, it's wild, man. It's wild what you see out there in the streets.
You know what, though? Hold on. I'm going to add to that part of something that someone said in the question I asked in the groups. I was talking about beautiful women and all that. So the dude said, dude just got a passport. He goes to Cartagena for 5 days. And all of a sudden, that's the most beautiful woman in the world. Because it's his first trip ever. I was like, I said, that's where we're at. That's where we're at now. But I want to say one thing. And I've watched a couple of YouTubers, a couple of TikTokers, and all that Instagram and all that Snappy Chat and all that stuff. I'm not really on all that stuff, but I watched a couple people send me some stuff. I've noticed there's two types of people I kind of dislike, and not on a personal level, meaning what they're standing for.
Gotcha.
The brothers that are going around saying, do not date U.S. women anymore because there's other things overseas. So now you got people thinking we only go overseas for women. That's where that kind of mindset comes from. For those brothers that are saying, I would never date an American woman again because I can go to Colombia, I can go to DR, I can go to Brazil. I don't really like that. It's like you're basically telling saying that, speaking of all black men, that we only travel for that, which I know we don't. Then you have the ones. There was this woman the other day who told this wild story. And see, I'm a sucker. I'm a slave for details. If you lie to me, I've kind of broken your story down 100 ways already, and I know it's a lot. So she tells this story of her going to DR with her friend. It was her friend who she didn't know lived in America. That was part of the story I didn't understand. Who had a whole husband in America and a boyfriend in DR. She told the story, but the story had so many holes in it, I knew it was a lie. Like, you didn't know she lived in America with her husband, but she's your friend who you traveled with.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense. So I believe a lot of those people who are just, maybe her boyfriend cheated on her with a Dominican. So she goes and tells this wild story, and most people don't pay attention to the story. So they're just listening to her. I call it action parts. The action parts are where, oh yeah, I call it the reaction parts. Oh yeah, he did that, but you didn't actually pay attention to the story to realize her story was full of shit. I believe it's also it's those people now, like you said, Keith, the people who can't travel because of their spousal situation. I understand that. the people I believe there's a lot of people who've never been out of the country ever. You know, I myself, I say this all the time. Before I got a passport, because I was in every state doing whatever I wanted to, had some of the most beautiful women around. I kind of looked at people, and this back then, everybody have a passport like they do now. My boys were trying to get me to go to Brazil. Guys were, come to Brazil. I'm like, bro, I got Brazilians. Well, I'm going to Brazil. They was like, yo, come to Korea. I got Koreans. Why am I going to Korea? They was like, go to Puerto Rico. I got Puerto Ricans. I got like the third runner-up, Miss Puerto Rico 1998. Like, why am I going to Puerto Rico? You know what I'm saying? So I kind of was that guy, but I wasn't hating on the passport guys. I was more like, I don't got to go nowhere because I'm over here. But that's because I thought it was all about traveling for women. That was kind of my mindset. Like, why am I going OC for women when I can go OT for women? You know what I'm saying? So that was my mindset. But then when I finally went out of the country, the Bahamas was my first trip ever with my moms and my sister and my son and my nephew. My first trip ever was Bahamas. Blew my motherfucking mind. To this day, the Bahamas trip is the reason I still have my passport. I'm on my second passport and have traveled to all the countries I've been to, with more to come. Walking on the beach, leaving a 10-foot snowstorm in New York, walking on this beach in Paradise Island, I was like, my world was this fucking big. Everything I thought I knew, I had to throw it out the window. I thought my world was huge. But now I'm on this island, looking at the island that Oprah and Jordan own. The only two houses on the island is theirs. And I'm sitting there like, my world really was nothing this whole time. I really had not lived yet. And that led to me going to the Dominican Republic, going to all these places I've been to, living in the Dominican Republic. I thought I was doing something, which I guess a lot of those people that had the same mindset think they're doing something now. But I'll tell you right now, if you're watching this and you've never gotten on a plane to another country, you've missed out. If you have not gotten your passport, which we know, gentlemen, ladies, all colors, races, creed, getting the passport is the first step. Once you get the passport, we could worry about the details of lodging and flights. But you can't go nowhere without a passport.
Nope.
So passport first, then you can worry about getting your funds together for a flight and lodging. You can worry about all that later. But you got to get the passport. That's step number one. So for me, as far as the hate goes, I mean, I really see it as when you have those people saying, oh, black men, you ain't got to ever deal with an American woman. If an American woman sees that, she's going to think, well, that's what we all do. Oh, that's all you guys do is go to these countries for that. You know what I'm saying? We know that's not factual. We're also going for other things as well. But some guys ain't going for that at all. They're going just to enjoy life. And the experience that it has to offer. Now, what I want to ask you guys real quick, Taylor, obviously, I know you as, like I said, super travel vet you are. What do you see in your own views from what you know, in your experience? What do you see as the future for black men that travel? As far as what do you think we can more people are traveling now. So what do you see as the future for what we can expect from our cultures traveling more and more and more? Where do you view things going from your opinion?
Man, that's actually a great, deep question. I didn't know we getting deep tonight, but that's
traveling, baby. DMT shout.
All right. Before I answer that, I just want to backtrack, man. I tell people there's a difference between, like me, myself, I said I don't date an American culture. Some people say I don't date American women because you got American women here, but their mindset ain't in that culture no more.
Facts. Facts.
And they have different mindset. And I ain't gonna say no names, but I had a sister down here, man. We kind of kept it on the wraps, but man, we had a great time together. So when people said, man, oh man, you dated sister. I said, listen, I date sisters no matter what culture. I just don't date American culture. I don't date the American culture, right? And that's why people saying, oh, you know, black women, you know, they don't date black women. I say I date Cubans. I'll date a Colombian, a Dominican, a Black Russian, because that's who I like. That's who, you know.
There you go.
Feel. It's the culture. It ain't so much that one, you know what I'm saying? But it's the culture. Where is your mind culturally? Just like I can never date a chick who never traveled. We don't have a lot to talk about at the end of the day, because you know my things that I think about, things that you know she'll think about. She's thinking about the box. I'm thinking about shit that, you know, breaking open the box from all sides. So I just wanted to get that point out. But what do I see? The future for black men with travel. Black men are traveling more and more these days, and it's because of people like Cass, because of people like you, because of people like Dre, O'Shea, Ace, because they see more of us. The reason I started my YouTube channel, especially here in DR, is because I was looking for people that looked like me when I travel, because I wanted from a black perspective. I'm not saying that my white brothers and sisters or my Spanish brothers and sisters can't give me a great idea on what to do, where to go, but I know our experience is going to be different. One of my best friends in the world, Jeff, you know, white dude and lives in Texas. Man, this dude did a little bit of everything together. But he knows our experience growing up in America, totally different. So when I see people, like when I want to go to Philippines, I'll put, you know, black man in Philippines. Or if I want to go to Egypt, black men in Egypt. Now I'll start watching everybody, but I want to hear from people that look like me. I want to hear their perspective. You know, like they got this one cat, man. I forgot the guy's name, but I was watching him, and he was in Pakistan. Black man goes to Pakistan. So it was kind of really, really cool. You know what I'm saying? Because women from that part of the world is, oh God, gorgeous. And I think the more and more, I think the YouTube, social media, I should say, as a whole, has exploded and has given us platforms to push more and more and more black men traveling. I'm starting to see younger cats living that laptop lifestyle. They got a few right here in their 30s, right here in DR. And came up to me and said, Taylor, man, I never thought about that laptop lifestyle. The pandemic really pushed it. It really pushed it and moved the ball forward. So knowing that, I think it's just going to explode, where you definitely going to see, you know, whether the number is a million, you know, million and a half, maybe this year, next year, 3, 5, 7. It's just growing, and it's on a roller coaster, and I do not see it stopping. Especially now, a lot of brothers trying to get back to Africa too. So there's a whole movement with that, and I'm not talking about just going to Ghana. I'm talking about Rwanda, Ethiopia, the Gambia, Tanzania, Nigeria. Most black men on the street that never travel, they can't name you 5 countries in Africa. Ask them. I promise you, they can't name you 5 freaking countries, and that's a damn shame. But now, like I said, with this social media explosion in the black community, it's just growing like crazy, because now they're used to seeing people like them living in Dominican Republic, living in Rwanda, living in Nigeria, living in Colombia, living in Cuba, living in Panama. They see it, and once you see it, you believe I can do it too. So I think it's going to explode. Every year, I think it's going to grow more and more and more. I think that we're going to take our knowledge and our technology and go to other places, man. And I'm talking about make mitts. I ain't talking about just going down there and retire. You're going to have some young folks, man, that got some ingenuity, go to different places, you know, make $1 million. Because they know how to go to a country where your dollar is greater and increase that bottom line. You know, and I'm telling you, man, I just see it more and more and more. Like me, I'm gonna push my daughter to never have a damn job. I would tell her, if you ever work for anybody but you, I'm going to be disappointed.
That's how you do it. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Else. You don't ever have to work for nobody else. And I see it happen. I really do. That's my 2 cents.
Appreciate that, Taylor. So
Keith, what's up, Andre? My brother Andre Owens.
Keith, shout out to you, Andre. Keith, also, Keith. Same question goes for you. Where do you see it now? You've been traveling throughout 2018. From then to now, where do you see the future of Black men traveling? How do you? Same thing I asked Taylor. What do you view in the near future, further out, as far as what you expect and what you expect to see in your experience of Black men traveling?
Okay. Taylor May hit it on the head.
He definitely did, didn't he?
Yeah, he covered every single base. So shout out to that brother. I've been watching him for a long time. So shout out to him. Shout out to both of y'all. Again, thank you again for letting me be up here. But
and shout out to you for the thumbnail. That Taylor, he did the thumbnail because I told him, I said, I'm actually do a picture like this.
That's my thing. That's my branding. That's my branding.
You guys show me how to cut that individual and put them behind.
Yeah, he did that.
I got. Hey, like I said, I wanted to meet up with Flip so we could talk about YouTube.
Yes.
I study a lot of YouTube, but in the future, I see a lot more young brothers traveling. YouTube analytics proves that it said YouTube's growth had doubled in the pandemic. Doubled in 2020.
That's how my channel. That's how my channel got bigger.
Yeah.
During the pandemic.
Yep. So a lot more brothers are going to be interested in traveling, and shout out to YouTube. I mean, what I would be doing right now is building the infrastructure. So when brothers came, we owned everything. We own hotels, we own car rental places, whatever you need, because you guys got a brand, and I'm sure they trust your brands. You can send them wherever you need them to be, because it's going to be people every single day traveling, and we're going to be, finding new places. And those new places going to need some ambassadors for that too. So I just envision a world where it's a lot more travel and a lot younger travelers, maybe 18, 19, 20, So that's the future I envision.
Well, you know what? I'm going to agree with both of you. And I'm going to say something. There are a lot more travelers now. And to touch on what both of you said, I believe this space is needed more now than ever. For the information that you provide, Taylor, for the information that you provide, Keys, for the information that other YouTubers actually provide. The creep cam videos showing the booties, that's cool. But you need the informational part as well to know what you're going to do. The digital nomads, the laptop lifestyle. Taylor, listen, you started it with a t-shirt and a slogan, but it's going so much further than I think you realize. The laptop lifestyle, there are guys trying to, I see it every day, figuring out, hey, what jobs are hiring? I can work remote. Like, I see it all the time on Facebook, and guys are asking, what do you do that you live over there? What can I do real quick? So that's actually a big, big thing now. And a lot of people are like, listen, if I could work remote, I'm going to another country. Wherever country got good Wi-Fi, that's where I'm going. I'm going to go over there. And I believe we're needed more now than ever because there's more interest in retiring early. I speak to guys I speak to 1,000 people a day. And what I hear all the time is, hey man, I'm taking my early retirement. I'm getting out 5 years early. Okay, I'm gonna lose a couple $1,000s a month, but it's worth it. I'm getting out of here. You know what I'm saying? Younger guys who were like, you know what? I want to live the laptop life. So I want to work from home and be in another country. I want to just get rid of everything and go somewhere else. Guys who go, you know what? I got 6 months off a year. I want to spend those 6 months in other countries. Or maybe one country for the 6 months and go back home, go to work, and come, back and forth, vice versa. Like you said, Africa. There's so many places in Africa I see that guys are going to. I don't know where I want to go first. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's all the places you named. That's how crazy it is that I've been hearing this African movement and seeing it with my own eyes. And I do want to go to Africa.
It's getting big.
I don't know where to go because everywhere says this place is good, this place is good. guys, I only got 7 to 14 days. I got to figure out. I got to get an itinerary here. Okay, that's why I said I may do 2 to 3 weeks. I'm hopefully next year, and do like an Africa run, and then do an Asian run. So maybe if I can get away for like a month and a half or something, kind of do both. So I can kind of say I've done it, and then decide where I want to go back to. You know, actually might have a trip to Europe at the beginning of next year as well. Like I said, I'm looking to go many countries. I mean, DR is home, but I like to open my horizons and see so many different things and network. The biggest thing about me traveling now, I'm from New York. I'm a network guy. That's all we do is network. Okay. When everybody was in the club popping bottles on Fridays and Saturdays, I was at the industry parties on Mondays and Tuesdays, you know, meeting the who's who and the movers and shakers. So when I travel, I'm also networking. I'm meeting other businessmen, meeting locals that have something going on. And I'm trying to, you know, get a feel for what things are in every country I go to. I've kind of got DR down packed as far as what I'm doing, and there's still more I want to do here. But when I go to other countries, I'm also looking for opportunities in those countries as well. Now, unfortunately, certain countries such as Colombia and places in I think Thailand as well, you can't do anything without a local citizen on your paperwork. DR is not like that. I can have my own business or my multiple businesses here, and it's mine. The reason I say that is because I don't have anyone in Thailand, a Thailand citizen that I know that I'm willing to put on my paperwork. I don't have a Colombian. I actually do, but they probably won't want to do it. Colombian that I trust that I can say, hey, I would put you on my paperwork. You know what I'm saying? But I've learned these things in my travels. I see with the pandemic kind of really did push this further because people got to realize what it was like to be locked down in your house and not go nowhere and not do anything. So they really want to get out more and more. And like I said, Taylor, I don't know about you. I'm sure your numbers went up. My numbers went up drastically during the pandemic. My watch time, matter of fact, if I missed a live during the pandemic, my phone was blowing up. Where you at? Why? You know, we waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? Because people were sitting home and they needed something to do. They needed to watch. Taylor, when you had your marathon, the one I fell asleep on, you had this long marathon. Yeah, it is what it is. This long marathon, and people were tuned in because everybody was home. So it was like you kind of had no choice. Now people can in and out, see us. They'll catch us later while they're at work, whatever. But during the pandemic, people were sitting home and just watching the entire time from front to back, you know? So I see more people traveling. And what I do think is for the younger, even for the older guys, don't get it wrong. There are some older guys that are not seasoned. They just started traveling, which congrats to you guys. But people need some guidance. How to retire, how to become an expat, how to live out of the country, even for 4 months out of the year, 6 months out of the year, whatever the case may be. Where to go, how to move around. When you're just on a vacation, you know what I'm saying? Like I got my last Cuba video coming out, I believe this week, just my basic breakdown of Cuba. And I don't know if you noticed, Taylor, but I've seen people going to Cuba left and right since we went.
Yes.
Everybody's going to Cuba. Yes. I got a text yesterday. Hey man, thank you very much. I'm going to Cuba. Like people first didn't know you could go. And then when they saw us go, it was like, I'm going to Cuba. So that's really the weight we hold.
Josh said he's been busy since
yes, he has.
Yeah. So I think we started a little something over there.
But here's the thing. It's guidance. Maybe people weren't thinking about Cuba until we went. You know?
I think they thought they can go. A lot of people didn't think they could go.
A lot of people didn't know they could go. We know that. We spoke to John about that.
Exactly.
But people need the guidance, which our channels provide, other channels provide as well. I really see the future of travel for Black men, particularly, is more younger guys are going to be traveling. More older guys are looking to retire earlier to enjoy a little bit more of their life. You know, I've had this conversation almost every other day at the bar of someone telling me, I'm about to retire early. Just take that early retirement, run with it. And I'm like, well, that amount of money, even though you're taking a loss on your finances long term, that amount of money is good enough to live in DR, good enough to live in Colombia, good enough to live in Brazil. So you'll actually be okay. You know what I'm saying? But I do see the future of travel growing and growing and growing amongst Black men because of everything we've been through in the past couple of years. You know, the devastation, and when you talk about the protesting, I really hate to say rioting, but the rioting, all the stuff that was going on in the time of the pandemic has left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And here's the wild part. We're in the age of social media. So everything you see online and you're in shock and awe about, like you can't believe this is fucking happening, has always been happening. Yeah. You just see it now. It's on your Instagram. It's on your YouTube. People are recording it now. It's always been happening. Abused by police, being killed by police, racism. It's always been there. People have cameras now. They can record you now. So what some people don't realize is, oh my God, I can't believe it. Why? I grew up with that. I saw it every day. Taylor, you told me your story about the highway patrol. Like this stuff happens all the time. Mm-hmm. But people weren't recording it then. When Rodney King got beat, it was recorded with a big ass camcorder, a whole personal camcorder. The guy had to hold it on his shoulder and record it. Now that guy's doing this. It's always been happening. It seems worse now, but it ain't worse now. It's the same as it's always been. It's just that we can see it now. Now there's a Karen and a Ken. Karen and Ken always been, if you didn't know that. They've always fucking been there. They've always had an opinion. Someone has always come out their face and said the word nigga. But now it's on TikTok. Now someone gets exposed. So social media has brought it out more. And a lot of Black people are like, you know what? I'm tired of it. It's time to move on.
Well, I think they're tired of, don't believe your eyes. That's what they say. Don't believe your eyes. Don't believe what you're seeing. Except if it's the reverse, where let's say a cop, was actually doing their job, quote unquote. But every time it's questionable. Like somebody gets shot in the back. Oh, well, we got to know what happened first. He was running away. What the hell do I need to know?
Not much you need to know.
Yeah. He was running away. He has no gun. You got a gun and you shoot him 3 times in the back. People, like you said, people get tired of it. They like, listen, I'm a target. They feel like targets. And why not go somewhere where, guess what? The first thing in the morning, I don't have to be a Black man. Like when I'm here, I don't have to wear that cloak. But in America,
you said that before too, Taylor. You did say that before.
In America, every day I'm Black. Someone is going to remind my Black ass I'm Black. The train, going to work, something is going to remind you you're Black. But down here, I just feel like an expat. Honestly, when I traveled, to Cuba, I didn't feel like a Black man. I just felt like an expat. I felt like really American because you say American, they love you. They love you. So I don't have to wear that coat all the goddamn time. It's kind of, it gets heavy, especially after you have to wear it almost 60 years. It gets heavy. So yeah, man. So I'm happy. I'm elated seeing especially young cats, man, not waiting until they get old, but hitting on that laptop lifestyle, going overseas, living their best life, making American dollars at the same time.
Yes.
Not pesos, not rubies, not shillings. They're making that American dollar and making it work for them. Hey, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. It puts a smile on my face. And if I had anything, the smallest thing to do with it, then something, I did what God brought me here for.
There you go. No. Listen. I tell everybody, I'm blessed, and I'm humbled when someone tells me you're the reason I got a passport. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you've heard it, Taylor. I'm sure you've heard it, Keith. And they be like, "You're the reason I got a passport." Mm-hmm. I'm sitting there like, I know I tell people to travel, but it's almost emotional when someone tells me I changed their life and they got a passport because they heard me talking or watched the video. And I'm like, the message got across. Yeah. The message actually got across. Whether it's 4 people, 5 people, 1 person. The message got across. It touched somebody. And the reality is, I said this earlier, Taylor, when you were on the phone. I am living my best life because there's a lot of people from my neighborhood not living at all. You know, where I'm from, most guys are dead or in jail. And it's like, for me to do what I'm doing, I'm gonna do it to the best I can do it for all those guys. Because where I'm from, it just doesn't happen. You know, I'm from a block where most people don't finish high school, let alone be alive long or be free from prison long enough to go and have these experiences that I've had. So I'm like, why shouldn't I live my best life from where I come from? You know what I'm saying? When I know I actually know only 2 other people from my neighborhood that travel. Two from my actual little 5-block radius that actually travel the world. Everyone else is either not traveling, dead, or in jail. And that means a lot to me because I'm like, well, I'm going to do it for them. I'm going to do it for myself first because I made it out, but I'm going to do it for them too, for the guys that couldn't make it out. So when people be shaming travelers, I look at it and go, so what do you want me to do? Stay on the block and get shot? Get harassed by police? Do absolutely nothing with myself but work a 9 to 5 to pay more bills, to work more overtime to pay more bills? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I want to experience the world. I want to really go out and see the world. And I'm not done yet. I got so much more to see. But the little I have seen has opened my eyes to so much of life. You know, I really feel, and I know I didn't, but as on an experience standpoint, I feel like I wasted the first 30 years of my life by not having a passport. You know, I said this on another live. My grandparents only went to Hawaii, which is the reason I never went to fucking Hawaii. The highlight of their life was Hawaii. I literally told myself when I started traveling the world, I was like, I'm never fucking going. It's shout out to Hawaii, no disrespect. But because my grandparents and my grandfather, who worked till he died, only his highlight of it, and my dad too, my dad highlighted his life, his trips, was Hawaii. Because of that, I said, I'm never going to Hawaii because that's the only place they ever went, probably like 3 or 4 times. And that's all they ever did. I'm going overseas. I'm going to all these other countries. You know, I want to experience things. You know, now, first off, I want to say something. Appreciate all you guys in the chat. I couldn't get to all your comments because we're having a great conversation tonight. I know we've been on live for an hour and a half. Taylor, Keese, I appreciate you guys for joining me tonight. I really do. It means a lot to me. Keese, me and you got to sit down and chop it up when you get down here as well. And you know, I talked to you in the background anyway. Taylor, before we get out of here, and this is part 1 of a 3-part series, guys. I have a lot I want to say about the situation, and I'm going to invite more guests and bring these guys back because there's more things you need to know about having a passport and being black. There's a lot more you need to know about. We only touched a little bit today, but there's a lot more you need to know. But I don't want to run this on too long because I want to continue this conversation. Taylor May, before you get out of any ending remarks you want to tell the people as far as traveling, as far as your channel, what you got going on personal, or just about us traveling, any information you want to give, your last statement, please.
I just say, man, traveling offers you freedom like you've never experienced. Traveling is freedom. It is honestly freedom. You definitely feel better physically, spiritually, emotionally. It offers you freedom that just staying in that cubicle or staying in that state won't offer you. And don't take my word for it. Say I'm lying. Get on the plane and prove it. One of us gonna be lying and one's gonna be telling the truth. So get on the plane, experience some freedom. That's all I got.
Hey Taylor, I really appreciate you, brother. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm gonna see you real soon. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much, man.
All right, brother. I'm gonna keep watching.
Keith, I'm gonna ask you your closing statements, whatever you got going on personally, YouTube wise, whatever you got going. Talk to the people, let them know what's up.
Hey, yo, I just want to say first, thank you again for letting me be a part of the conversation.
Appreciate you.
Taylor made both of y'all legends in my eyes, and I hope you guys continue for sure. I would say to all the people in the chat that are not traveling right now, I can tell you from experience that I didn't start traveling until 2018, and it definitely makes you a more
but 64 countries. Come on, bro.
But it still was late.
It's a little crazy.
I feel like I was late. So if any of y'all want to travel that way, the best piece of advice I can give you is figure out what's important to you and make whatever sacrifices you got to. If you got to sell something that you're not using, some shoes, some electronics, whatever you got to do to get to some of these countries, you can do it. Also use the apps, the websites, Google Flights or Skyscanner to see if you go to one country, what's the price to go to all these other countries? Because I went to a lot of countries by jumping around quickly. So that's it. I appreciate you again, and shout out to the chat. Appreciate
Case, much love to you, bro. I'm gonna talk to you behind the scenes too. But I appreciate you. Like I said, the thumbnail was Keith. I hit him up. I said, "Hey, Keith, I'm gonna need one of those cool thumbnails you be having." Because here's the thing, though. I said it to you. You know, I don't hold my tongue. I say what it is. His thumbnails aren't flashy, but it makes you look like he's always the. It gets my attention. It gets my attention. Like, no bullshit. I'm gonna take a picture with me like this, and I'm gonna make my own thumbnail. But it's weird though, because I told you, I said, bro, your thumbnails ain't flashy, but I have to look at your thumbnail. Like, I always gotta look, because it's just the way you do it. It's appealing, and it makes you pay attention. You understand what I'm saying?
It's just branding. I mean, companies do it every day. They show you 1,000 commercials the same way.
We got this YouTube thing down. We got to sit and talk. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, he's definitely one of my favorite YouTubers to watch. And like I said, a couple of lives. I wanted to jump on that live with you and Swell. Shout out to V Swells, but my internet was fucking god awful, bro. And I was like, I couldn't even talk, and y'all understand what I'm saying. If you saw one of the Brazil videos I did, the internet was real choppy. So. Yeah. You know, I definitely, anytime you say jump on, I'm jumping on. But I couldn't do it there last time, and I was pissed too. But I was like, you know what? I'll catch up on live later.
Hey, you're always welcome. I'm definitely looking at doing a couple sections. I had V Swell, shout out to him, Backpack Val.
I saw that one, yeah.
So yeah, you're always welcome. Let me know when you got time, and yeah, we're gonna do it.
Bro, I appreciate you for joining us. Thank you very much, Keith.
All right, bro.
And stay tuned for more from Keith. He's doing big things. Now. My thing's kind of messed up. Let me see if I get to them. You know how I do every time at the end of videos? The flip side. All right. So y'all could put in the comments questions y'all got. Now I'm sorry I couldn't get to everybody, but we had a great conversation tonight. I definitely got to give big shout to Big Bro TaylorMade. Always jumping on. Whenever I call him, he jumps on. Keith, I hit him up, he jumped on. As I said, he definitely did the dope thumbnail by him. So I want to say something. Let me put my hat on real quick. Gotta put my hat on. The reason I started this was from a lot of commentary in different Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups. And a lot of times I keep hearing, why are people hating on us? Why are people disliking the Travel Brothers, the Passport? Let's call it. We got Paradise Life as a travel networking group. Okay. What the Passport Bros, the black men that travel, the black man travels. Why are people disliking our movement of traveling and getting men to travel? I realized something. A lot of people who dislike travelers are the people who aren't doing anything. Okay, I don't see any other travelers saying, I don't like that traveler. I don't see a person who's been to multiple countries saying, I don't like those travelers. I don't see that. I see people who are not traveling disliking travelers. And Jackson Jeter, big shout to you. I'll be at the bar first thing in the morning. Anybody who's in town, I'll be in flip flop first thing. I'll be at flip flop at 6 in the morning because I got a lot of paperwork to do, and then we open at 8 o'clock. So I'll have the bar open probably like 7:30. Pull up. I've been going for 2 weeks, so I got a lot to do. But I noticed the hate, the commentary, the shaming, travel shaming, all that. I noticed it comes from a place of people that aren't doing anything. Someone said to me one time, because I talk about back in the States all the time. I'm never going to knock my women back in America. I'm never going to knock. I'm American. It is what it is. And someone said, "Well, I can get bad women in Houston." Cool, me too. But can you get a life experience in Houston? I go to a strip club in Houston, basketball game, have some bad chicks. Okay. But can I walk on a beach in Houston and hear people speak other languages? Can I get offered a coconut cut open in front of me in Houston? You know, can I do a charity event and see little kids who appreciate if something costs me from $1 to $2, they appreciate it like I gave them $1,000. Can I get those experiences? Can I go stand in front of a statue of Christ that you can see from miles away in Brazil? Can I meet new people and try new cuisines and try new things and new experiences in Houston? I'm not knocking Houston anywhere. It's not about just the women. It's about the life experiences. I want to say this again. Me personally, definitely pull up, Gina. Me personally, one of the main reasons I like to travel so much, and I live in Dominican Republic, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm just not. So I'm going to do it for all the ones that ain't here, as well as myself, because I realized I was sitting talking. I was almost in tears in Brazil talking to a couple of brothers at the restaurant. We were sitting in Brazil eating, and I was like, man, you know how crazy this is? Like, I'm really not supposed to be here. I'm just not. The reason my birthdays are so big, because I was told I would make it to 15. I ain't going to give you that, oh, you ain't make it to 21. I was told I would make it to 15. Then at 16, I was told I would make it to 18. Then at 18, I was told I'm on borrowed time. Why shouldn't I travel and enjoy life? I came from the bottom. All I'm trying to do is keep seeing the top. I want to live an amazing life because most people from where I'm from can't do it. They're incapable of doing it. They're not, like I said, dead or in jail. My biggest thing to all you guys that are still watching this video right now, and we'll watch this video later. I said it earlier. Step number 1 is get your passport. Step number 1. If you don't got a lot of money, if you ain't, I'm going to say the word ain't, if you ain't capable of saving funds for a flight and room and board, we'll worry about that later. Get your passport. Because without your passport, you can't even think of traveling overseas. Get your passport first. And then we worry about everything else. Because once you got your passport, you're capable of traveling the world. We'll take care of the finances later. I actually had this big conversation at the bar a few weeks ago. Get your passport. We'll take care of everything. We'll focus and stress over everything else after you got the passport. You can call me, hit me on Instagram, say, Greg, I got my passport. What do I do? All right. That's step number 1. You already completed step number 1. Now let's get to the other side of it. Now let's figure out how we can get your finances right for your flight and your lodging. But step number 1 is get that passport. Without the passport, you can't. So don't tell me right now, oh, man, I ain't got no money to travel. Just get the passport. Get the passport. And once you got that passport in your hand, it's going to make you feel so good. We're going to find a way for you to travel. Okay? Now, if my passport was just here, I don't know where it went. Pat, where's my passport at? There you go. If you're American, this is my second one. Second, once you get this, we'll talk about flights. I'll do a whole video for you. How to find Skyscanner, Google Flights. We'll talk about flights. We'll talk about lodging. We'll find you the best lodging for your money that you can afford. We'll figure that shit out. Get this. Get this first. Everything else, because I guarantee you, once you got this, you're going to find a way to fly. You're going to find a way. So I want to say to all you, and I'm going to get to the comments when I finish this. I want to say to all you straight up, travel. I don't care what country you go to, where you go. Travel and enjoy life. I was the guy, OT, out of town. It used to be OT. I'm going OT, out of town. That usually meant to another town. That was me. Now I'm OC, out of country. So we've always been traveling. We just wasn't going overseas. Now we going overseas. They just, for some reason, certain people dislike the dynamic. I encourage all of you to travel. You know, I live in Sosua, live in Dominican Republic. I'm always going to tell you, come on down, you're going to be good. But you ain't got to come to Sosua. You ain't got to come to Dominican Republic. But go somewhere. Go somewhere. Experience something more than you know. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Let me get to these comments real quick. All right. I saw a bunch of people comment. Okay. Yeah, is Gary Jones still in the chat? Is Gary Jones still here? I want to holler at him. Damn it. My computer's acting up. Triggs, appreciate you. Big H, what up, baby? The Scorn Black Man podcast. Shout out to you, brother. I got to link up with you. BMT Travels, my brother Aaron. Much love to you. Dirty Workers. Yeah, no, it was a dope panel. I mean, I told you guys I got a 3-part series I'm going to do. I had already spoken about it in Brazil, and I already spoke to Keith and Taylor Made. I had to have them on the first show. I got a couple other YouTubers, and I'm bringing them back. I'm going to bring them back as well. I told Keith, like, in a short period of time, I really like his content, so I actually watch him. And you know, I'm a fan of his content, and he really has this YouTube thing kind of down pat. So we got to sit down because I'm trying to learn. Here's the thing. He's a newer YouTuber, a newer traveler, but I have no problem learning from him as far as how to do this YouTube thing. You guys know, even though it's been a couple of years I've been on YouTube, I'm still a baby with this YouTube stuff because I don't know social media. I just post stuff and hope it catches on. You know what I'm saying? I'm real, damn it, I'm real slow with it. Cousin Felix, appreciate that. My pad here is acting up, man. This is weird. Cuzzo, pull up on me tomorrow at Flip Flop, please. I know you about to travel. I think I'm gonna be in Panama next week. Got some things to handle out there. SV to God, what's good? Okay, G, you know, I'm being at the ball. I'm back. Like I said, today I know what jet lag is now. I've experienced jet lag today. I went from 12 hours of flying to 8 hours of driving through torrential downpours. I was just tired. Like, my body was tired. So I now know what jet lag is. RTC, enjoy. Oh, you be down? Okay, Halloween, pull up. Yeah, I don't have global entry, but if you can't get global entry, get it. I will say this. I have not seen global entry accepted in every country I've been to. So, you know, get it. It might be worth it for most places, but I haven't seen it everywhere, personally. My pad is all messed up here. Yes, I'm having issues. There you go. Get your passport. Oh, you on your third. Yeah, I'm almost there. Trey, Giants win it all, baby. Vegas in the building. Appreciate you. Yeah, but hold on. This is a great comment right here. You do feel like you unlocked a new level of life. And it's like I said, for me, it's not like, I know some guys travel just for women. That's cool. I will never knock that. But it's so much more. It's things that you never would see before, you never thought about before. And just a whole new world that opens your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Big Cuz ODSC? Bro, I've been waiting for that for 18 years. I'm gonna tell you guys again. When the president came for the third time to the beach, the second time, that's when he pulled with the flip-flop. Third time to the beach, he said, hey, we're going to do the beach over. And by the way, we're going to give you guys a new police station, right? That's what he said. The police station was knocked down the next day. So I don't know what's going on with the beach, but 15 years for the beach for me, waiting for it to be new. But the police station got knocked down the next day. Amari said, I'm 18, just got my congratulations to you, brother. Listen, travel. So you got your passport now. If you ain't got the funds at this moment, check out flights from 6 months from now. I think flights go up to 8 months. As further as you can look out. I'm not sure. Go look up some flights 6 months from now. See what you can afford and work it out. Then we'll get some lodging. Some guys actually book their lodging first. I like to do it the other way, but it is what it is. Some guys book their lodging non-refundable, so they got no choice but to book the flight. Okay, whatever floats your boat, but travel, enjoy life. You know, sitting on the block ain't enjoying life. Sitting with the homies is cool. But my daddy told me all the time. My dad said this. You know, it's cliche, but my dad actually told me this. You see those guys on the corner, and I used to be one of the guys on the corner. They're gonna be there next year, or they might be dead. And I never understood it when I was young, but when I got older, I was like, son of a bitch. My dad wasn't lying. They still there. Mission Goal said for travel seas, dislike the entire experience with them. I decided to try it a few times after. Well, yeah, if you have a bad experience when you travel the first time, don't let that deter you. Maybe you didn't get enough info. Maybe you didn't get the right situation. Don't let that deter you. All right, case in point. Ladies and men. I'm gonna bring it somewhere else, but to give you an idea what I mean. If the first time you had sex, it wasn't good, you not gonna have sex again, right? Hello. So if the first time you travel, it wasn't good, don't not travel again. It happens. You might have just had a bad situation. Maybe you got sick. Maybe this happened. Whatever. I think my sister, I think broke her ankle broke her ankle and broke her ankle and had an allergic reaction to something on the bedding at a 5-star hotel in DR. She still came back to DR. You know what I'm saying? So you not like if you have your first sexual experience is bad, you're not gonna have sex again. Well, travel again. That's all. September 3rd. That's what's up. Stack Master, what up? As far as what Vegas talk? As far as what Brazil? Yes, JJ. Let me know when you're back. We'll do the DR Cribs. And pardon me, guys, for the last DR Cribs. I messed up with the music. I know it's me talking and the music. Apologies. I loaded the wrong video. I'm gonna leave it up since you guys were already watching it. The video I was supposed to load was the one where I lowered my voice and just let the music play. Sometimes I have two videos, and when I go to load, I make a mistake and load the wrong one. So my apologies for that last DR Cribs, but it's still a dope crib. So you guys have watched it already. Information's in there. Check it out. Yeah, let's get them trees up, y'all. Get them trees up. But yeah, JJ, when you get back, we do that video, definitely. I got a couple more DR Cribs coming up as well. And like I said, we're going to do more videos on this topic. I have my 5 things to do in Cuba. 5 things you need to know about Cuba coming up. Also, I'm going to do 5 things you need to know about Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. I'm going to start doing lists like that for the guys that want to go. If you go by yourself, you're still able to know where to go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I said, it was my fault, man. I totally... now, mind you, I'm in Brazil without my laptop. So people were telling me, yo, Greg, the thing, I said, oh, I loaded the wrong video. And then I was going to reload the right video, but then I want to be able to adjust it on YouTube because I don't have my laptop. So it is what it is. But hey, you guys watched the video, so appreciate y'all. For Brazil, I stay at Airbnb. J Dub, appreciate you. We have our own Airbnb right on the borderline of Copa and Ipanema, right on the borderline. So this way we walking distance to everything. I stayed in the hotel. I think we stayed in Miramar. Me and Steve did Miramar for like 2 days because our Airbnb was already rented out and we extended. But yeah, the hotel was cool, but I prefer the Airbnb, the freedom of the Airbnb. When I say freedom, meaning it's my apartment, I'm walking in and out of my apartment. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like that experience for Airbnbs. But you got to find what you like. Some guys want housekeeping every day. They want their bed changed every day. Some guys want that. So it is what it is. So any questions before we get out of here? I want to tell you guys again, 5-year anniversary, September. Believe it or not, the show, the Urban Music, the King's Urban Music Festival on September 3rd. September 3rd is actually my anniversary day for Flip Flop. So I'm not doing 2 events. The whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, is the 5-year anniversary of Flip Flop. And Saturday, I will be I'll be at Flip Flop in the morning. Then I'll be at the show at Miami Bar later on that evening. So yeah, it's the same thing. Just that weekend is my 5th anniversary. So shout to everybody coming. Get your tickets for Miami Bar. I got a couple guys who want VIPs. Hit me up for the VIPs. And then, like I said, that weekend's my 5-year anniversary at Flip Flop Sports Bar. We've been open 5 years, which is so dope. And thank you to all of you guys. And then, Halloween weekend, Paradise Life Halloween weekend. It's going to be bigger and better every year, bigger and better. You know what I'm saying? So get your tickets, get your VIP. I still got rooms at the mansion. If you want, holla at me. No, I've never been to Lima, bro. I do want to go. I do want to go to Peru. There you go, Big H. That's real. Nah. That's my man H right there. He said, I came to DR, opened and closed the business, took some bumps, don't mean I won't try it again. There you go. Never going to stop that. Trick said, do I see myself living in Brazil? Nah. Shout out to my man Kelvin. He's over there 6 months, over here 6 months. Personally, DR is home. That's it for me. I'm going to visit these countries, but living, nah. Gary Mack said, I got Allen 5-star luxury suite for Halloween. There you go. So Gary already booked that. There you go. Yeah, you better pull up. You better pull up, Jeter. And Reggie BX, much love to you, man. I'm sorry I missed you. 2-9. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate you, 2-9. Thank you, everybody who donated tonight, whether it was on Cash App or Super Chat. Much appreciated. Hold on. Let's get it. Oh, I got to get this comment up here. My damn pad is acting up crazy. Here we go. He said, I'll do a live so I can tell you 5 different things about being an assistant manager. Don't try to outdrink me. Don't try to do it. Don't do it. And 2-9 found out the hallway. That's my dude. Shout out to you. Yo, brother, I love you. You know that. Much love. Big D, what up? Like this, anybody who's in Sasua, I will be at the bar tomorrow. I had serious jet lag, man. I was like, I never had jet lag before, so I didn't know what that feels like. My body was worn out today. I wasn't even going to do this live. Like, I know Keith had to work tomorrow, so I said, you know what? I promise you guys Wednesday, I'm doing Wednesday. But I was like, I'm still tired, so I'm going to get over here in a minute, lay my ass down, because I got a lot of work to do tomorrow. So like I said, I'm catching up on all this work from Flip Flop and all that. But I appreciate all you guys, man. Like I said, get that passport, travel. Once you get the passport, you'll figure everything else out. Like, share, subscribe. I appreciate all you guys. Stay tuned for more. I got more coming. And if I don't speak to you before that, I will see you all Sunday service, 11:30 Eastern time. I will be at Flip Flop. You already know. A1J, what up, baby? Appreciate all you guys. Much love from me to you. Stay tuned for more.